The bloodline that began with love now bleeds with loss. Season 2 of Outlander, Blood of My Blood isn't just continuing a legacy, it's tearing it apart. What began as passion between MacKenzie and Brian Fraser will now spiral into sacrifice, betrayal, and the cruel weight of destiny. The trailer has dropped, and it's more devastating than anyone expected. Every frame feels like a warning that this season will shatter hearts, rewrite loyalties, and change the Fraser name forever. Season 2 of Blood of My Blood opens not in triumph, but in turmoil. The trailer wastes no time reminding us that love, in this world, never comes without a price. We see Ellen and Brian standing at the edge of everything they've fought for, free, but hunted. The shadow of Malcolm Grant's death still hangs over them, and though Ellen tries to believe their love was worth every drop of blood spilled, the guilt is starting to crush her. Brian, haunted by what he's done, must now protect the woman he loves while facing the wrath of 2 clans that want him dead. But the real devastation doesn't begin with them. It begins with what's coming. The Jacobite rebellion is no longer a whisper in the hills, it's roaring to life, pulling families, lovers, and friends into its deadly path. The trailer gives us glimpses of fire and banners, of men swearing oaths and women watching their homes burn. The Highlands are changing, and the Frasers are caught in the heart of it. We also catch brief flashes of Henry and Julia, lost between centuries. Their story, once full of hope, now carries a strange sadness. Henry seems trapped in a time that isn't his own, torn between his duty to his family and the haunting realization that the past might not want him back. Jeremy Irvine's expression in those scenes says it all: confusion, fear, and something deeper, recognition. Fans believe he's finally stepped into Claire's timeline, connecting the prequel to Outlander's main story in ways we never thought possible. But Julia's absence is what hits hardest. The trailer doesn't show her face, not once. Instead, we hear her voice, faint, distant, like a memory slipping away. Has she been left behind in the stones? Or worse, did she never make it through? Hermione Corfield said in a recent interview that Julia's story isn't what people think, and that one line has set the fandom on fire. It sounds like something tragic is coming for her character, maybe even final. Meanwhile, Ellen and Brian's love story takes a darker turn. Their bond, once pure and passionate, is now tested by survival. The clans are divided, and MacKenzie's betrayal cuts deeper than ever. Ellen's anger burns quietly beneath her grace, but she knows that war will soon come to their doorstep. Harriet Slater hinted that Ellen will be forced to choose between her heart and her heritage, which could mean one devastating truth: she might have to turn against her own kin to protect Brian. Brian, on the other hand, is caught between love and honor. The trailer's most powerful moment shows him standing in the rain, torchlight flickering across his face as he stares at the fiery crosses, the Jacobite call to arms. "If I go," he whispers, "I may not come back." Those 6 words echo the heartbreak that defines Outlander itself: love against destiny, loyalty against time. But there's something else hidden in the trailer: a child's cry. Many fans believe it's the moment we'll finally see the birth of Jamie Fraser, the man whose name will one day echo across generations. The shot is brief, shadowed, almost dreamlike. But if that's true, it means Season 2 won't just be about survival, it'll be about legacy. The birth of Jamie would mark the bridge between Blood of My Blood and Outlander, turning this prequel from a love story into the foundation of an entire saga. And yet, with every heartbeat of hope, the trailer cuts us down again. Fires consuming homes. Men taken away in chains. Ellen's voice crying out for Brian in the dark. This isn't the reunion fans hoped for, it's a descent into tragedy. The music swells, sharp and haunting, as if even the Highlands themselves are mourning what's to come. Behind the scenes, producer Meryl Davis described Season 2 as the most emotional chapter yet, saying that this season asks what we're willing to lose for love, and what happens when we lose everything. That line alone tells us we're not walking into a fairy tale. We're walking into heartbreak. By the end of the trailer, one image stays burned in your mind: Ellen, standing alone in the mist, holding a blood-stained handkerchief. Her eyes are fixed on something far away, and her voice whispers the final line: "If blood must be spilled for love, let it be mine." It's haunting. It's poetic. And it's devastating. If Season 1 made us fall in love with Ellen and Brian, Season 2 is about to make us suffer with them. Every choice, every secret, every promise they made, now comes with a cost. And as the rebellion rises, and the world around them burns, one truth becomes clear: this isn't a story about how love begins, it's about how love survives the fire. The trailer doesn't say his name, but every fan knows what that cry in the shadows means. The moment Brian lifts a newborn into his arms, the world changes. The legacy of Outlander begins. Jamie Fraser, though unnamed, takes his first breath in Blood of My Blood Season 2. And that one moment might be the only light in a season drenched in tragedy. But even Jamie's birth comes with pain. Ellen's face in the trailer tells it all: exhaustion, tears, fear. She's not just giving birth to a child, she's bringing life into a world tearing itself apart. The MacKenzie clan has turned against her, and whispers of vengeance spread through the Highlands. Malcolm Grant's death still poisons every conversation. There's no forgiveness, only retribution. And now, with a newborn to protect, Ellen and Brian's love transforms into a desperate fight for survival. What's even more striking is the trailer's tone. Gone are the romantic hues of Season 1. The colors are darker, the pace slower, the music heavier. It's the calm before a storm that never ends. There's one haunting image of Brian standing outside Lallybroch as thunder rumbles across the sky. He whispers something to Ellen. We can't hear the words, but her tears tell us everything. Many fans believe this is the moment Brian decides to join the Jacobite cause, leaving Ellen behind to protect their child. And that's the heartbreak of Blood of My Blood. Every act of love comes with loss. Harriet Slater called Ellen's journey in Season 2 a test of what it means to love someone in a world that wants to tear you apart. She hinted that Ellen's strength will no longer come from rebellion or romance, but from endurance. She will become the protector of her family, a woman shaped by fire and grief. Then comes the mystery that ties this prequel to the main Outlander timeline, Henry's storyline. The trailer gives us scattered flashes of him in a strange, unfamiliar world. Stone walls, modern lamps, the sound of gunfire far away. Fans immediately notice what looks like Claire's timeline, suggesting that Henry might have accidentally crossed into the 20th century. His clothes are torn, his expression blank, as if he's trapped between centuries with no way back. Jeremy Irvine teased this twist in a recent interview, saying, Henry begins Season 2 in a place he doesn't understand, surrounded by ghosts of people he shouldn't know. Many have taken this to mean he will cross paths with Claire, or perhaps even Jamie, connecting the two shows in a way that redefines everything we thought we knew about time travel and Outlander. But the tragedy doesn't stop there. Julia's absence from the trailer has fans deeply worried. Her voice echoes faintly, "Don't leave me behind," suggesting she's still trapped within the stones, or worse, lost between timelines. Hermione Corfield admitted that Julia's fate will break hearts and redefine Henry's character forever. If she's truly gone, Henry's journey could shift from love to vengeance, mirroring Brian's descent into conflict centuries earlier. This parallel, between fathers and sons, between love and war, seems to be the beating heart of Season 2. Meryl Davis described it perfectly: this season is about blood. Not just family blood, but the blood we shed for the people we love. It's an idea that runs through every storyline: Ellen and Brian bleeding for each other, Henry and Julia bleeding across time, and the entire Fraser line paying the price for their devotion. The trailer also teases an ominous new threat. A mysterious figure, cloaked, scarred, and silent, appears in several quick cuts. Some believe he's a new clan leader hunting Brian, while others think he could be an ancestor of Black Jack Randall. The resemblance is chilling. One fan theory suggests that this figure is the start of the Randall line, a blood feud that will haunt the Frasers for generations. If true, Season 2 will mark not only the birth of Jamie Fraser, but the birth of his family's greatest enemy. Meanwhile, Ellen's relationship with Colm MacKenzie stands on a knife's edge. In one tense trailer moment, she confronts him, eyes blazing, saying, "You chose your clan over me." Colm's reply is cold: "You stopped being one of us when you chose a Fraser." That scene alone shows the devastation awaiting her, a woman torn between loyalty and love, knowing she might lose both. But amidst the heartbreak, there's beauty. The landscapes of Scotland, vast and mournful, become characters in their own right. The mist, the rain, the heather fields, they all mirror the pain of the story. The producers revealed that Season 2's budget allowed for sweeping, cinematic realism, capturing the raw emotion of the Highlands before the Jacobite rebellion fully ignites. Then, near the end of the trailer, comes the line that silences everything. Ellen, holding her baby, looks into the distance and whispers, "The world may forget our names, but not our blood." It's both a promise and a curse. That single line ties the prequel directly to Outlander, reminding us that everything Claire and Jamie endure centuries later began with Ellen's defiance and Brian's love. But the final shot is devastating. Brian, surrounded by flames, clutching a sword as enemy soldiers close in. His voice echoes, "For her. For him. For us." And the screen cuts to black. No music. No sound. Just silence. The devastation isn't in the action, it's in what we know comes next. The rebellion will rise. The Frasers will fall. And their son, Jamie, will inherit both their courage and their curse. Season 2 isn't about survival anymore, it's about legacy written in blood. If Season 1 was about love's beginning, then Blood of My Blood Season 2 is about the ashes it leaves behind. The trailer's final moments are not meant to thrill, they're meant to wound. Every beat, every line, every tear reminds us that history is not written by joy, but by survival. The bloodline that began with a kiss now stands on the edge of ruin, and it's through that ruin the legend of Jamie Fraser will be born. The trailer's closing sequence paints a haunting picture. We see Brian's face streaked with blood, his sword trembling in his hand. Around him, the chaos of war rages, men shouting, horses screaming, torches falling into mud. The Jacobite rebellion has reached its fever pitch, and Brian's decision to fight has cost him everything. But what breaks him isn't the war, it's the fear of what might happen to Ellen and their newborn if he doesn't return. The look in his eyes says it all. He's no longer fighting for Scotland, he's fighting for the family that gave his life meaning. Ellen, meanwhile, becomes the quiet hero of the story. We see her guiding her child through smoke and rain, clutching Jamie close as the flames of the rebellion consume everything they knew. Harriet Slater described Ellen's arc in Season 2 as a love story turned into legend, explaining that Ellen's strength becomes the foundation of every Fraser who comes after her. Those words echo through the trailer's imagery, Ellen standing alone in a burning field, whispering a prayer that history will remember their love. But the heartbreak doesn't stop there. The trailer teases a tragic reunion, Ellen and Brian meeting again after battle. His face is pale, his hand trembling as he reaches for her. The music fades, replaced by the sound of rain hitting steel. She whispers, "We found our freedom, but lost our home." He smiles weakly and answers, "Then we'll build another." It's the kind of quiet, devastating moment that Outlander has always excelled at, the kind that leaves you holding your breath long after it ends. And just when you think the pain has peaked, the trailer reveals one final, chilling image. Henry, now older, bruised, and scarred, stands in front of a gravestone. The inscription is blurred, but one name is clear, Ellen Fraser. His eyes are filled with recognition, as though he finally understands the bloodline he comes from, the sacrifices that made his existence possible. Fans have already begun speculating that Henry might be the one to discover his connection to the Frasers across time, creating the ultimate link between Blood of My Blood and the original Outlander series. The idea that Henry could be the bridge between centuries, the one who carries the story from the past into Claire's future, gives the prequel an emotional weight no one expected. Jeremy Irvine hinted at this connection, saying, "Henry's journey will reveal that time doesn't just separate us, sometimes, it calls us home." That one line has ignited a storm of theories across the fandom. Some believe Henry will become the reason Claire learns more about Jamie's ancestors, while others think he'll leave something behind, a letter, a relic, a name, that connects both timelines in Season 8 of Outlander. But perhaps the most devastating theme of all is what showrunner Meryl Davis called the curse of love that lasts too long. She explained that the Frasers' legacy is built not just on romance, but on grief. Every generation inherits the pain of the one before. Season 2, she said, will explore how that love, though beautiful, becomes a burden too heavy to carry. We see that in Ellen's final line in the trailer, "Love is not what saves us, it's what we die for." And that's the essence of Blood of My Blood. It's not a fairy tale, it's a tragedy dressed as devotion. A reminder that the passion that began with Ellen and Brian would one day echo through Jamie and Claire, centuries later, binding two souls across time and war. The trailer ends in silence, just a single image of the Fraser crest flickering in firelight. Beneath it, a faint whisper, maybe Ellen's voice, says, "Our blood remembers." And just when you think the pain has peaked, the trailer reveals one final, chilling image. Henry, now older, bruised, and scarred, stands in front of a gravestone. The inscription is blurred, but one name is clear: Ellen Fraser. His eyes are filled with recognition, as though he finally understands the bloodline he comes from, the sacrifices that made his existence possible. Fans have already begun speculating that Henry might be the one to discover his connection to the Frasers across time, creating the ultimate link between Blood of My Blood and the original Outlander series. The idea that Henry could be the bridge between centuries, the one who carries the story from the past into Claire's future, gives the prequel an emotional weight no one expected. Jeremy Irvine hinted at this connection, saying, "Henry's journey will reveal that time doesn't just separate us, sometimes, it calls us home." That one line has ignited a storm of theories across the fandom. Some believe Henry will become the reason Claire learns more about Jamie's ancestors, while others think he'll leave something behind, a letter, a relic, a name, that connects both timelines in Season 8 of Outlander. But perhaps the most devastating theme of all is what showrunner Meryl Davis called the curse of love that lasts too long. She explained that the Frasers' legacy is built not just on romance, but on grief. Every generation inherits the pain of the one before. Season 2, she said, will explore how that love, though beautiful, becomes a burden too heavy to carry. We see that in Ellen's final line in the trailer, "Love is not what saves us, it's what we die for." And that's the essence of Blood of My Blood. It's not a fairy tale, it's a tragedy dressed as devotion. A reminder that the passion that began with Ellen and Brian would one day echo through Jamie and Claire, centuries later, binding two souls across time and war. The trailer ends in silence, just a single image of the Fraser crest flickering in firelight. Beneath it, a faint whisper, maybe Ellen's voice, says, "Our blood remembers." The screen fades to black, and for a moment, there's nothing left but the weight of what we've just witnessed. That's when it hits you, this isn't just another chapter. It's the moment that defines an entire saga. Blood of My Blood Season 2 doesn't aim to entertain, it aims to break us. To make us remember why the Fraser story has endured for decades, because love, no matter how doomed, still matters. With filming in Scotland wrapping up later this year, fans are already bracing for what promises to be one of the most emotional seasons ever produced in the Outlander universe. The cast has called it the darkest yet most beautiful journey they've ever taken. And if this trailer is any indication, they're not exaggerating. By the time the credits roll on Season 2, nothing will be the same. Not for Ellen and Brian. Not for Henry. Not for the Frasers who come after them. The fire that burns in this story will light the way for generations, even if it consumes everything in its path. So prepare yourselves. Because when Blood of My Blood returns, it won't just continue the story of the Frasers, it will redefine it.